Hey, welcome back to my channel and to the 4th episode of my Latte Art Championship journey. I was 17 days away from the competition and finally finished drafting my speech. So here I was practicing at home with my Linear Mini. Because the machine I have at home only has one group head, I couldn't really practice my whole routine at once. So what I did at home was to break the performance into 3 parts and time them separately. Our priority during the competition would be to not go overtime. Every second you overtime will subtract 1 point from your score. As someone who wasn't very confident in scoring high overall, I didn't want to get subtracted points at all. So when I was at home, I tried to keep an eye on the timer to ensure I poured no more than 1 minute for each cup and 2 minutes for each set without considering the time prepping the shot. Since we started training for the full routine, it's now time to explain the scoring of the competition. Competitors are scored by SCA judges. For the Latte Art Championship, we are judged by 2 visual judges, 1 technical judge, and a head judge. To my surprise, the head judge's score sheet actually doesn't contribute to the total score. So the total score is made of 2 visual score sheets and 1 technical score sheet. The visual score sheet contributes to 480 points of the total score. You get scored on the identicalness of the matching set, foam quality, contrast, harmony, size, and position of the pattern, difficulty and successful execution, professionalism and performance, such as eye contact, professional attire, explanation, quality of images, and spills on cups. The technical score sheet contributes to 99 points of the total score. You get scored on the general workflow, wastage, champing, and extraction time, the cleanliness of your milk pitchers, how many and how you use cloths to deal with spillages, and also performance-wise, are you confident and are you tidy on stage? I made this video because I'd wish people spoke more about their competition routine and experience. But sadly, I think there's a lot of gatekeeping going on, which was understandable because breaking down your routine and revealing your score sheet is sort of giving away your secrets. But for me, I think I'm more about sharing my knowledge to not only people who want to compete, but also the wider audience who don't work in the industry. So the series is not only about sharing what I learned during the 2 months, but also to reveal more about our lives as coffee professionals to the people who don't work in the industry. If you're watching because you are considering to compete, I hope the vlogs are so far pretty useful. The thing you need to know is that nothing really matters other than the score you get. As unethical as it sounds, a lot of times decisions are made because they would make us score higher, and not necessarily because we like them. For us, the patterns we decided to pour weren't the patterns we liked the most, but the safest set that we think would score more. As someone who does creative work, I think this is pretty fucked up. I'm not being salty because it didn't go into the finals, but I am also speaking on behalf of other latte art competitors. If I didn't compete, I wouldn't be that convinced that the UK latte art judges have a preference for a certain style, especially symmetrical patterns. If you are a judge and would like to say something different, please do so in the comment section. I know saying this would obviously piss off plenty of people, but I think the issue is more about how judging and calibration is not transparent enough. For example, I had to find out through competing to know that human error made by the judges for timing extraction time inaccurately could lead to a reduction in scores. The possibility of human error was not mentioned in the rulebook, which is the only source we had to prepare for the competition. I was extremely pissed about this extraction time error because I would have potentially drew with the 6th place, putting me in a position to go into the finals. Think of it this way, you compete for 3 years, only to find out little things that affect your score every year are not mentioned in the rulebook, and you try to squeeze information out of the judges, but they give no constructive feedback because they are not allowed to give any coaching advice. So my question is, how am I supposed to do better in my next competition with this amount of support? And this was why, by the end of my competition, I lost a lot of passion and motivation to continue. So now let's go back to the scores. So here was my score for the UK Latte Art Championship 2023. I got 107 and 105 out of 240 for each visual score sheet. 92 out of 99 points for my technical score sheet. I got a total of 304 and placed the 8th place in the semi-finals. Here's a look at the ranking of the semi-finals. It was a shame that there was no art bar for this year. Art bar awards competitors' scores but happens off stage, where you won't be judged by performance but judged by the visual appealingness of your pour. There was art bar in the Latte Art Championship the year before, but not this year. Probably because they decided to hold 2 competitions at the same time, so they didn't have capacity to include it. As you can see, I was merely 4 points away from going into the finals, and the ranking might have looked totally different if art bar was included. I wouldn't say I performed really well in terms of the pours, so I was fine with the score without looking at the score sheet. But once I looked at the score sheet where you can see the breakdown of how the judges scored you, I was like, wait, I shouldn't have gotten this score. One of the 4 points that I got deducted was actually a result of a human error on the judges' side. I don't want to go into huge details about this because I will go through it in another video. The same type of error, coincidentally, also happened in the World Latte Art Championship 2023. We of course tried to appeal, but if the appeal didn't make a difference on the world stage, it wouldn't have made a difference on a national scale either.
Ready?
Yeah. Huh?
You ready?
Oh, wait. Oh, he's there.
So, we were arriving at the party, and we were having a cup of champagne at the after party. So what do you do?
Welcome, judges.
Bubbles.
Today,
But
I'm going to take you
dry
on
ice,
a personal journey.
put my drink down,
Me through
and
latte
add
art.
some sweetness. Dry ice is nothing more than frozen carbon dioxide.
I'm going to pour 3 different fractions and pop them through towards the ice.
Solid acidity that is very similar
Ignore this.
to the one you can actually enjoy in the real champagne. So just picture this. Entering a party. The big door opens in front of you. And as soon as of champagne. 5 degrees Celsius is the exact temperature in which the acidity of coffee and sweetness of other ingredients balance each other, leaving you with this elegant geisha coffee aftertaste.
first pattern is a course. It was the first animal pattern that I learned.
My biggest takeaway from the competition was that the muscle memory that I built during my 2 months of practicing pretty much made me nail the technical side of my performance. After the competition, you get a debrief from the judges and get to see your score sheet. My coach and the head judge who gave me a debrief both said that 92 out of 99 is a very good technical score, especially with the performance awarded a 6 out of 6, which is apparently only given out on rare occasions. So I feel like it would be good to show how we train to get that 6 out of 6 performance. For today's training, we implemented a layout that was closer to what we would get on stage. I also incorporated my speech into my routine every time I practiced, tweaking it here and there to make it sound more natural. I knew that the more I practiced my routine with my speech, the less likely I go blank on stage. The fact that I used to do a lot of presentations in high school and uni definitely helped me with looking confident on stage. I think the key to scoring high in performance is to not show hesitation and act like you have an intention for every move you make. Now that the competition ended and I had time to reflect on my performance while I'm editing the video, I do think that maybe I'm not a bad competitor and I should continue to compete, even though my overall experience of competing in 2022 wasn't that great. I also thought about judging in another discipline, but I still haven't heard about any news of the next calibration. So let's see.
Yeah, well, I really wanted to do it, but my college team didn't come with me, which I'm
However, they might not be here, but there are a lot of people here. So, let's hear it one last time for the Coffee Good French champion in Poland, Agnieszka Wojciechowska!
Alright, and don't leave yet, stay with us, because we have other things coming very soon.
We do, so very soon. Oh, big round of applause for the judges as well. What a wonderful job they've done.
Here we go, my second part. We'll be back with my third part.
Welcome back. Is
It's
everybody
giving you
ready
away.
for our last competitor of the day for the final?
So my second pour is
I think y'all will be better than that for the last
I started finding this last year.
Let's do this.
through a friend.
After this competitor, we're going to be crowning a new champion. Make sure to stick around at 4:30.
And although I suck my climbing, I'm the worst climber in the group. All my friends always climb me up, and I really appreciate that. So this pattern is a tribute to my friend, and also my other friends who have been encouraging me throughout the past few years.
All right. And give a round for these judges. They've been working really hard out there.
Thanks for watching.
And Morgan, whenever you're a judge,
My
put yourself
my
in.
first pour.
Take play.
To the bottom. Was it really?
I'll take my music now.
Or was it
As I'm pouring, I'm also explaining the composition of my pattern. Some competitors describe the composition before they actually pour, but I prefer to talk about it at the same time as it keeps my rhythm right.
Hello, judges. My name is Morgan, and I'm so excited to be here today. Now, coffee has changed both in how we spoke and communicated. This simple act of visiting a coffee shop now involves risk, something that is arguably the antithesis of what we should convey for hospitality.
my first pour?
Getting super weird for the last 2 years, we've seen a horrible an explosion of online coffee content, rapidly shifting consumer demands, as in Additionally, speaking to those who are joining us remotely, these moments, much like our lives off this stage, rarely exist in a vacuum. They're shared, spread, and consumed without physical reach. Now, I'd like you to take note of the menus in front of you. Prior to this moment, those menus, along with the recipe for our signature beverage, have been shared with those partaking in the competition online, enabling those at home to finally partake in the same audio, visual, and now sensory experience that we're about to have today. These moments on this stage, where specialty coffee is celebrated, deserve to be shared beyond the inherently limited audience that in-person events offer. And because the official on live stream has changed this year,
I will be back with my second pattern. I was pouring this pattern during Easter, and to my surprise, it was actually my most complimented pattern before. And I wanted to use this pattern as a reminder that even the simplest pattern can bring joy to someone's life.
Thank you.
到，好，快到 handle 这个位置了，可以到了，斜着的啊，直着然后斜着，看手柄到高高高低。